back. We're alive. Now, I know what y'all are thinking. Sanctum, go to bed. We've been live for like 8 hours today, but, you know, we gotta earn our keep. And my boy would not let me go to bed if I didn't cast his fucking match. So, it starts 10 minutes. But, yeah, let's do it. Oh. Okay. I don't know anything about either of the teams. I just know that my boy Karsiak plays top lane. And he's like high elo. So, yep. That's what I know. That's why we're here. We're here to have fun. It's gonna be great. And if I die on the live stream, well, you know what? But let's have some fun. Alright, let me update my scorecard. Yeah, well, no choice. Karsiak wouldn't let me go to bed. He's like, you promised to cast my game. I'm like, I did, but I didn't expect to cast 8 hours today, so he's a friend. I'm a man of my word. I gotta do what I gotta do. Hopefully, we aren't using that god-awful website. Because I swear to God, if I have to go through another Zonia's Hourglass pick and ban phase, I'm going to... please, no more. Please just draft LOL or Apex Esports.gg or whatever. Anything. Anything. Oh. Okay, but hey, this is Div 1. This is as good as it gets before actual pro play. So we're... Yeah, thank God. Thank God. I fucking hated WASD. No offense to the person who made it or whatever, but woof. No thanks. It was nice that like I got a screen pop up whenever the team was good to go for the draft or whatever, but outside of that, not my cup of tea. I'd just much rather stick to draft LOL. Feels simpler. It's buggy sometimes, but hey, at least there's no big ass delay. And restarting it takes 2 seconds. Oh. Oh, yeah. You're just waiting on the invite from Karsiak to the lobby. And then, yeah, we'll get the spectate and everything good to go. Looking forward to tonight. Once this is done, I mean, there's so many more playoff games to do and stuff, but hey, at least the first Super Week is done. Whew. I casted one of the longer Super Weeks, but thank God I'm not casting Div 2 in Super Week, man. That's like fucking 11 fucking teams. That's 10 round robins. I don't think I'd be able to do 13 hours of streaming with so much dead air. I'd probably die. But hey, that's the 1st of December anyways. So sorry if I'm yawning tonight. I've been up since like 9 p.m. yesterday. I don't even know why I'm doing this, but a man's nothing if his word ain't right or truthful. So we're gonna cheer on our homeboy Karsiak in Maelstrom Esports. Hopefully we see some Pog gameplay. I won't forget to turn the playlist off during the match. Don't worry. Not gonna make that a mistake. I casted an entire game with Banjo Kazooie. The DK64 music in the background was like, oh man, I'm tired. Alright, well, it's 27, so a few minutes and we should get going. Alright, let you, It's so many phone notifications today, man. I'm tired of hearing my phone vibrate. I'm like, shut up. It's gonna be like 2 hours where like there's no YouTube video uploaded. Like I don't need to see my screen light up and my battery die. Oh yeah. Maelstrom, please. Oh, okay, spelled them correctly. Should be any time now. Oh yeah. Where's Maelstrom? Okay. Please help is all there. Okay. We gotta practice for that 24-hour and 48-hour stream I promised people, so gotta practice being on a lot. Honestly, I just need to not be like starting my day at 9 p.m. the day before I do a super week, and I think everything should be fine. Oh. Alright, it's 7:00. Oh, crack them knuckles, give me a bit of energy. I'm definitely going to get my last cup of fruit punch juice when we get inspect delay. That and a water bottle, 100%. We're just waiting on the invite from my boy Karsiak. Maybe it takes a little longer to set up. The lobby in Div 1. Oh, I don't know who else is going to be there outside of the 10 players or whatever. Maybe there's like a big coaching staff or whatever. So, I'll have to see. Oh. Alright. I have figured out the delay, but no worries. It is Le Keklamao. Oh Lord. It's gonna be so rough tonight. Hopefully my cast is gonna be able to deliver. Because my voice is a wee bit fucked up right now. But I don't have anything tomorrow or after tomorrow. At least I hope I don't. So I think it should be fine, if anything. Okay. I think they are doing the coin flip for side selection. So not gonna lie, my bed is looking so comfy right now. And when I go to bed tonight after this cast, if I don't wake up for like a day, I'll be happy. It'll save me one meal for the week. But hey, I'm happy with what I got to get done today. So hopefully we get a good amount of viewers. Just come vibe. And I want some hype gameplay. I'm looking forward to seeing some good macro because I did not really see some amazing macro today, unfortunately. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. The quality of macro difference between Div 1 and Div 3 is ginormous. Can I get an invite? What are we doing? Oh, me waiting on an invite, wondering if it's ever gonna arrive. Yes, I think they finished side selection. Because the people that were in the discussion chat are no longer in discussion chat. I'll keep my DMs with Karsiak open just in case he has to send me the TC. Holy shit. I don't want to go get my water right now. I want to wait for the invite just to make sure I'm not missing anything. That's why the second I get off my chair, the invite's gonna arrive. And then I'm gonna get yelled at because I'm late. Ooh, It's gonna arrive one day. Hopefully. Alright, there we go. The lobby is full. No worries. So it's probably full with like the coaching staff and stuff. Makes sense. I'll just wait till he says to try. Nope. I'll actually just wait. Should be getting into the draft shortly, just letting people position themselves so that I can join the lobby. Tell Fuhai to move his ass or I will go at his house. I don't know, I'm trying to get in the lobby. Oh, nice. Well, welcome to the live stream. Ask him if someone was streaming. From what I was told tonight, the Mamago people are streaming the Div 2, the Div 2 game tonight. That's looks like they already did the looks like they already did the draft. Give me a second. No. Change this to all right. Looks like we are at the end of this draft. Okay. So we've got Corgi versus Aurora mid, Ziggs Nautilus versus Kog'Maw Rel, Kha'Zix versus Rek'Sai, and K'Sante versus Renekton. It does feel like a K'Sante game. Unless we're putting K'Sante mid, but K'Sante mid in the Corgi doesn't feel that amazing. There we go. Alright. Let's hide the draft. So we're getting in the champion select. There we go. We should see where everything is going. Hopefully for game number 2, things are going to be a little bit better. would love to be there for the draft. I think it's gonna be Kusante top. I think Garciac's on Kusante duty tonight. I could be wrong though, but he is enemy 1 on the screen. Yeah, so I think he's playing. Nah, it's gonna be Aurora mid because they have Kog'Maw and Ral bot lane versus Ziggs Nautilus. Yeah, but they so in these drafts, right? Yeah, Kog'Maw can be played mid, but in these drafts, the players pick by their position, and it starts from top lane and goes to support. So here we're gonna see the Kog'Maw lock in, and then the last pick for enemy 5 is gonna be Rel, because that's the tournament draft. So fortunately, once the champions are picked, they're kind of like locked in place for a set position. All right. Here we go. There's a 3-minute spectator delay, by the way. So if you need to grab a snack, or if you need to hit the washroom real quick before we get into the game, make sure you do so you don't miss out on any action. The music will be paused while we are in game because we have game audio. And any questions you ask in chat, I will answer to the best of my competences, either during the post-game screen and stuff. Unless there's a big pause in which then I can then answer during the cast. Alrighty, I'm quickly going to get a cup of juice, and I'll be right back. Alright, 2 minutes before we get a game. This is your 2-minute warning. Start making your way back to your computer so you can see the game in its fully blown glory. English hard, me tired. Alright. Okay, we're gonna pause the playlist here. We'll be resuming it in post game, but I assume, because this is Div 1, we're going to be doing the drafts a lot faster. Alright, no worries. Have a good smoke, Karsiak's dad. Alright, a minute before we get into the game. I don't know why it's not updating. Yeah, a year ago. Damn. 3 years ago. That's when I streamed on YouTube? That's crazy. That's so long ago. Alright. I'm about to get into the game. Soon the client will disappear and we're going to have the loading screen, as you all know. Hopefully you guys will be able to enjoy this cast tonight. Sorry if I sound a little groggy or tired. I have been up for like 24-ish hours, at the 22 hours at this point, so a little dead inside. But hey, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Yep. Okay, so we've got zoom. Here we go. We've got the game in its full glory. The ping's coming out onto Kog'Maw. And it looks like we are going to be doing standard 5-point defensive warding start. Probably going to get a few wards in some bushes and maybe look to get a later ward dropped at either Raptor Camp if the scouting goes properly. In terms of lane matchups, K'Sante is going to be playing weak side early. But eventually just scales up to the point where he can fight the Renekton and it not mattering too much. I'm not really too sure about the Kha'Zix versus Rek'Sai matchup, as I've never seen Rek'Sai in amateur play. Also, interested to see Ziggs still being contentious in the meta, given that his passive was heavily nerfed a few patches ago. But, alright, so we have the standard laning. No lane swaps. Rel is going to try to get a ward here as Kaz. Oh, there is a game pause. Six has no audio. Let me just read. Okay, just some friendly banter, but there seems to be a peripheral issue. An audio issue with Ziggs. So the game has been paused, will be unpaused momentarily. So when it does unpause, you will see the game screen freeze slightly, and that is just to indicate the time that has passed. Now the game has been unpaused. Alright, the Corki Aurora matchup, I feel like it's Corki favored early, as the Gatling gun just does a lot. Kha'Zix is going to start at his red, given that it was on vision. Oh, okay, so that is when the game pauses. And then should be unpausing very shortly. There we go. So not going to be too much. Okay, so yeah, see that Gatling gun really just adds so much damage to Corki's trading potential, and for those who do not know, Corki, his attacks and spell blades deal bonus true damage. It does even more when he crits. So, we're taking a good trade on Corki here in the early game. Early level 2 for the side of Maelstrom, but that should be changing. Renekton going to be pushing in K'Sante in early, which is perfectly normal. K'Sante can't really lane too well into Renekton until he gets at least a few armor items. But by then, if the lane has gone to shit and the Renekton is just super rich, things get really hard. Ziggs is going to be doing what he can because he has... so we have 6 teleports this game. Okay. So no defensive summoner for Kog'Maw. Interesting. I mean, it is... the only thing you can really cleanse is the Renekton W, and by the time you cleanse that, you might already be dead. Okay, Barlow's going to get a flash shattering spear, forcing the flash from Drew. High on life going to commit the flash. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get it, so that's 2 flashes for the price of 1. K'Sante going to be struggling to farm early, but that is normal. K'Sante is really bad at farming in the early parts of the game. Just trying to keep his grasp up, get a few procs here and there. The last hit with the minions with his Q. And if he has a grasp proc, going to use the Pathmaker shield to take an offensive trade onto Renekton. Has to be careful when Renekton has big red bar. Rek'Sai is here. We have flash knockoff. Have to be careful. Okay, the Pathfinder has been invested, and that's going to be first blood on Karsiak. Boy, Fuhai. Going to be sent to the Shadow Realm. Here he is investing in a cloth armor, but Rek'Sai with first blood is really good. Barlow is back mid, as now we're going to Hex Flash into a crash down. Oh, Nope, just going to Hex Flash, a Shattering Spear. We're trying to crash the wave into the turret so that High Life can get a good reset. Corki has already teleported back, but because Aurora has a little to no mana, he really wants to get a reset off. Doxa is going to find Barlow. Here, we still have the hook to cancel the crash down. Crash down, not going to be interrupted. The Full Hide taking a good trade onto Renekton, but the Fury Bar is building up. The Staring Blow going to proc once again. Shattering Strike comes out from Doxa, and it's a Portal Combat! Rel going to mount back up. A nice Ruthless Predator here by Renekton. Going to use the Slice, still has the dice, gonna opt not to use it. Drew going to throw the Phosphorus Bomb and do a bit of damage, but he is taking on the worst end of a trade. Verdict does have Flash. Okay, the Kazakhs did hit level 5. Okay, the E into Void Claw going to be enough. Doxa in a little bit of trouble. And the Flash Kazakhs Q gonna be enough to take another kill. A double kill for the Kazakhs is huge at this point in the early game. Kazakhs is an assassin that snowballs incredibly well. Barlow gonna try and zone the Ziggs as best as he can. Ziggs having the tier boots and not having recalled yet is pretty nice. Though, what's fun with Kazakhs, because when he fights isolated targets, he does so much more damage. He can do objectives really fast. But that means, because we're taking Dragon, we're giving a priority on Grubs. We have a Xante, they have a Renekton. It means that we cannot afford. Nautilus is going to look to run interference. Verdict might be in a bit of trouble. The Ignite comes out, and the Bouncing Bomb is going to be enough. Renekton has the Dominus, and... okay, I guess we're not going to look to fight the Xante. Xante could hit level 6 whenever. Mr. Wubb's going to get hit by the Bouncing Bomb and the Nautilus Hook. Barlow is coming. Michael doesn't have much mana, so we do have to be careful. The crash down is imminent. And Doxa going to be the victim of a poor cooldown usage. Okay, that's the beautiful double slice to get away. Rek'Sai, though, going to deny the Kazakhs entry into his own jungle. High on Life going to chase Drew. Getting vision access to clear the ward. And Corki starting to suffer a little bit in this matchup. I guess the matchup is more Aurora favored, especially if your jungler's involved. Ziggs has no mana. It looks like we're going AP Kog'Maw. I mean, it makes sense. We saw Black Wax play it to a tremendous degree. The Shattering Strike. Kazakhs gonna leap in and swipe the kill on Corki. Drew not having a great time. Unfortunately, Fuhai gonna miss a Pathfinder. The dash gonna be dodged away by the slice. Fuhai running low on mana. If he wants to commit the all out, he's gonna have to commit it soon, as it is 100 mana to cast. Void Guard spawning in about 3 minutes. As you can see, there's about a 1,000 gold diff purely off CS and some plates. But Karsiak gonna be able to buy himself some boots when he gets back, if he makes it back. Renekton with the level advantage is a little scary, but the Xante all-out is something you have to respect. You cannot disrespect the power of this champion. The Ziggs gonna be putting in some work, looking to probably go... I want to say this is Seraph's first. Okay, the Shattering Spear traded for the Nautilus Hook, but Verdict is here. Doxa gonna get interrupted by the crash down, and he's going to die. Mr. Wubbs putting in a lot of work.
No, you don't.
Yeah, that wave clear on AP Kog'Maw is disgusting. That's another plate going over to Barcode. Yeah, we'll just call Renekton Barcode because that makes sense. Unless he has a name that I'm supposed to be using, because I can't read his name. I don't have hieroglyphics unlocked. Okay, the Eclipse coming first. First completed item here for the Rek'Sai will give Rek'Sai a good amount of trade. Slight frame drop. Apologies for that. But we have the first completed item. Renekton now with a Black Cleaver of 1,200 gold. I could have sworn it's just like ones. But I think I'll just call him Barcode because that's what I remember Captain Flowers calling people with that name. Alright, Cassante having a decent recall with a Sheen, a Bramble, and a Ruby Crystal. Really helpful. The Kha'Zix looking to finish his first item. Gonna take a reset. We've got 30 seconds until Grubs. Looks like we are rotating the bot lane mid for Please Help. Yomu's Ghostblade picked up here for Kha'Zix. He's going to be able to move faster out of combat. It's a decent lethality item. Fuhai trying to get as much of the CS as he can. And if Renekton plays dumb, he's going to look to punish. Okay. Mago's going to have a lot of fun just clearing the wave. Okay, Renekton going to greed for this plate. Should be able to get it quite easily. We are not putting any precedence on the Void Grubs. Doxa going to find Verdict. Not going to be happy about it. The Nautilus Hook. This is a Mega Inferno Bomb's going to come out, but it's not going to be enough. Fuhai now trading. Going to all out way over the wall. But the Rek'Sai is coming. And Fuhai has to be careful. Okay, the Flash Shattering Spear into... Oh, Mr. Wubbs is out of mana. He can't finish the kill. That is unfortunate. The biggest problem with AP Kog'Maw is that AP Kog'Maw uses more mana than the US has debt. So very often, if you're using Living Artillery... it can cost up to like 500 plus mana a cost, and that's an insane amount, given that you only build 2 to 3 mana items, so at most, you can only really use the ultimate so many times. But with a blue buff, it really helps. Does not seem to have one yet. Going to be going to Luden's Companion. Looks like we have Mako here in the top lane. They have 6 grubs, so they're just going to hit it a little bit. And that's first turret. Fuhai gonna be in a bit of trouble. Does not have the all out. The Ruthless Predator comes out. We're trying to do damage, and Mako is going to take a kill onto Fuhai. But Drew going to get picked on. This Kha'Zix Rel roaming combo going to put in a lot of work. Poor Drew, 1 and 3. Hasn't gotten to play the game much. Kha'Zix going to be denying some jungle camps here from Rek'Sai. Let's check in on the gold values real quick. Cassandre unfortunately down about 2,000 gold. Gonna make it rough, but once he gets his Iceborne and his Thornmail, things will be a little bit better for him. We've got the Luden's Companion here, finished for Aurora. Now we're probably going to be looking for Sork Shoes into Shadow Flame, I want to say. Aurora, unfortunately, doesn't really want the smoke that Renekton is offering. Renekton at this point of the game, probably one of the better champions. Does so much damage. Barlow's here in the bush, but we've already used the Between Worlds, and the Rek'Sai is pretty big. Okay, we'll have to see. The Flash slides. Inferno Bomb forcing the Flash from high on life. Across going to try and get a Q, but not going to find a Prey Seeker. I think it's a Prey Seeker, which would turn on his ultimate. However, we have 6 scrubs and we have a Ziggs, which means another turret is about to get blown to the smithereens. Kha'Zix pinging that the Rift Herald is up, and it looks like it's going to be a Rift Herald start, but this is a tier 2 inner that we are looking to give up for this Herald. I hope it is worth it. Doxa gets caught, but it's not taking much damage. The Kog'Maw doesn't have that much firepower yet. The Slice is going to come out. Shattering Strike, Call the Meek, and Ziggs going to secure a Bouncing Bomb kill. Cross going to use the Queen's, I think it's the Queen's Wrath, the Rek'Sai ultimate to snipe High on Life away. And with that, Red Team have secured Herald, but at what cost? They've lost 2 turrets. They've lost 2 turrets, and they lost 2 people. Okay, and the blue buff was denied. Here, Verdict going to get melted. Cassante all Drew, but Drew isn't really worth much money. So let's see if Fuhai is able to make a play. The Between Worlds not going to lock out Doxa, but High on Life going to get a kill on Doxa, and now pressure for the mid lane turret seems to be a thing. However, Rel is a little bit alone, so she has to be a little bit careful. This Rek'Sai does a lot of damage. The knockup's coming out. The Queen's Wrath, the Mega Inferno Bomb forces a crash out. The Smite comes out. The Red Smite, the Magnet Storm going to hit Cross. But we have Renekton, and Renekton putting in a lot of work. Is the Prey Seeker going to land? No, the Prey Seeker does not land. Cross gonna be in a bit of trouble. Has to be careful. But the shutdown's coming, and then Barcode trying to get on the Kog'Maw, but he's isolated. Sarcastic does so much damage. The evolved Q does like 50% extra damage on isolated targets. Doxa going to Hex Flash over the wall into a Nautilus Hook, hits the wall. Verdict has to run away. I think. Okay, the Bouncing Bombs. Nautilus Hook is going to lollipop this Kog'Maw, and Verdict got out with his life. The Herald takes about 50% of the turret's remaining HP, which is not bad. Nautilus still looking for hooks. Has to be a little bit careful. He's only level 7. But Barcode teleporting in. Has almost 2 items. Gotta use the Ruthless Predator on a ward. And we are getting ready for this Infernal Dragon. It is an Infernal Rift this game. So the longer this game goes, the more damage people are going to deal. And let's see if we get to the apex amount of dragons, because this game is already action-packed. Barlow coming in. Cross going to secure the dragon. The Between Worlds going to get 3 people. We all out the Nautilus, but Renekton does so much damage. Rek'Sai's going to ult Cassante, and Cassante's going to melt. This Ziggs is untouchable. Aurora gets stunned up, knocked up, and blown up. Oh, the Kog'Maw's going to get a Retribution. It's going to be a 2 for 2. Sorry, a 2 for 3, as Verdict got eviscerated early on in the team fight. But this Kog'Maw is starting to do a little bit of damage. However, if we can't get on the Ziggs, man, those Bouncing Bombs, that Mega Inferno Bomb, and that Minefield does so much damage. Okay, Mangle going to be able to clear the wave. But almost dies for it. Has the Seraphs, so would have been fine. In terms of surviving a Kog'Maw ultimate. Throwing the Bouncing Bomb and the Minefield to make sure that the wave is going to be cleared out. Now looking to take a recall. Kog'Maw also looking to finish his Seraphs. He has a Luden's Companion, so it looks like we are building the same thing on both sides. Aurora looking to finish their Liandry's Torment, a really good item into such tanky members like Nautilus, Rek'Sai, Renekton, who build a lot of HP, so you just get value off landing your abilities. The Renekton has finished the Stridebreaker, but the Iceborne Gauntlet finish for Cassante is pretty big. It is a pretty good damage item for him, because that AoE slow really helps him connect the dots. The Slice onto Fuhai, not going to connect. But Verdict is on his way. Barcode has to be careful. Okay, Barcode going to get assassinated. here by the likes of Verdict, but we're committing the teleport, and Drew should have the damage necessary to kill this Corki. There's a lot of true damage in this Corki's kit. The sidestep on the Natofo 3, really good, allows Drew to win the 1v1. Might have been in a little bit of trouble other than that, but I don't know why Rift Herald has no bounty pinged on it, but that's interesting. I've never seen that text before in game. Now Cassandre having 2 items now. Kog'Maw does a lot of true damage. So Corki does a lot of true damage. So Cassandre is gonna have to be a little bit careful. But essentially, he's at the point where he can duel the Renekton 1v1 and should be fine. Is a little bit down in terms of gold, but this is the part of the game where the Renekton slowly starts to fall off, while Cassandre just gets more and more useful as the game goes. Kha'Zix, understanding that crowd control is going to be an important thing, so he picked up an Edge of Night to try and dodge some notoriously bad CCs. Upgraded the Spike Racks so that he could have a much larger AoE poke. If you build a lot of AD, they tend to be useful, and if you're close range, they heal you. I never really see much Kha'Zix played, so I can't really understand if the build is good or bad. I only really play like poke Kha'Zix and ARAM. So got Mako and Doxa holding down the fort in the mid lane. It looks like we're getting a Horizon Falcon next for the Ziggs. We'll have to see what Kog'Maw decides to build next. Mako taking a lot of damage, but we're going to guarantee the kill onto we're going to guarantee the kill onto the Rel. Kha'Zix going to fall. Fuhai teleported in. We've got the all-outs, but this Rek'Sai putting in a lot of work. It's now Cassandre versus 4 people. Unfortunately, not going to be able to find it. However, the Kog'Maw passive able to find the Rek'Sai on low HP. Things aren't looking too good here for Maelstrom Esports in their first round of playoffs. Loser is not eliminated. I believe we have a loser's bracket. So loser goes to the consolation bracket. Basically the loser's bracket has to make their way back to the grand finals if they want to make it, and winner advances, I believe, to the semi-finals. Winner semis. Verdict starting up the Dragon. They already have 2 on the side of Maelstrom. But this Corgi is looking. Verdict gonna get hit by the Mega Inferno Bomb. Revealed. High on Life has to hop backwards. Cross. We're not focusing the Dragon. We've got a 3-man Pathmaker. The Renekton is going to fall, but Fuhai might die first. The Between Worlds gonna be enough, but Corki puts in so much work, and Aurora going to tag into the Rek'Sai just to die. Unfortunately, Renekton gonna go over the wall, and it looks like we're going to annihilate Maelstrom in this fight. If Ziggs can land a bouncing bomb. Okay, not yet, but maybe the next one lands. Okay, that's an ace here for blue team. Now we have 3+ items on this Ziggs, 8, 1, and 9, putting in so much work. We're working on a Death Cap or a Shadow Flame, whichever comes first. Kha'Zix getting some armor ban because he has to be able to kill through this somewhat tanky front line that Please Help has assembled. We've got a stride breaker in the making here for the side of Rek'Sai. Corgi working on, I believe, a Maw of Malmortius. That's what pickaxe. No. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what those items build. Maybe they're separate components. But We've got the broken arm guard here for Kog'Maw. He really wants to finish his Zhonya's Hourglass. And does he have it? Okay, he does have the Zhonya's finished. Okay, so we went a little more defensive here on the Kog'Maw for the third itemization. Feeling like he does enough damage. Drew going to take a lot of damage. The Between Worlds going to put in a lot of work. And Barlow going to secure the kill here against Drew. Drew not having the best game, but Barlow taking a lot of damage from the Ziggs. These bouncing bombs are starting to hurt. And if you build some magic resist, just wait till he has a voice staff. The Inferno Bomb going to put Verdict on 10%. Cross shows up and just murders Verdict. Okay, we've got the knockup. Barlow going to use the Magnetic Storm into a crash down, but gonna get executed by the Rek'Sai ultimate. Kog'Maw here to defend his team, but mana costs are coming up. He's gonna be stuck between a rock and a hard place, and we're not gonna make it out. The Kog'Maw looking to get a kill, but Fuhai unfortunately not gonna have enough damage to outpace this Ziggs and Rek'Sai combo. Aurora going to get sent to the Shadow Realm, and that's another ace here for Please Help. Maelstrom Esports struggling in their debut playoff game against Please Help. Maybe it was a draft issue, but I mean, the only pick that really does well into Renekton is like Rumble, and if you play it well, maybe Jax. It looks like Verdict was trying to get a Baron steal, as Rek'Sai did not, had not used it. But Verdict and Barlow gonna go down. Another pause here. The jungle DC'd, so it looks like we had some lag issues, which led to the late smite from the side of Cross. They still got Baron though, unfortunately for Maelstrom Esports. And it looks like we are just simply rejoining the game, and the game should be unpaused very shortly. Well, so far, a really good showing here from Please Help. This is my first time watching them play, and their coordinated macro is pretty decent. Outside of Doxa playing like Hylissang a little bit, just somewhat sometimes wandering around the jungle. The coordinated plays from this Rek'Sai and this Ziggs, they've been finding ways to assassinate people. Nautilus hooks in, the Inferno Bomb's thrown in, then they're knocked up by the Rek'Sai, and then if needed, the Rek'Sai can ult to execute. We're just waiting for the game to unpause. Okay, game is going to unpause. Game will shortly freeze temporarily, but that is going to be normal if it happens. There you go, that is the pause. Looks like Renekton and Nautilus are picking up Spectre's Cowls. So a lot of magic resist now being built up here on the side for Please Help. As if this Kog'Maw can't kill the front line, he'll just get run down. Strikebreaker finish for Rek'Sai. And now we're working probably on maybe a Sundered Sky? Cassante trying to finish the Unending Despair. He's going to be trying his best. We have 3 items on Kha'Zix, but Kha'Zix so squishy that basically gets wombo comboed at the first opportunity that happens. Aurora still working on their Zhonya's. Corki working on that. We're going to find Doxa and Cross. The Nautilus hook going to find Barlow, but the Kog'Maw is going to dissuade and engage with the Liquid Ooze. Fuhai now has the Unending Despair. We'll have to see. There is no anti-heal here on the side of Aurora is teleporting from really far away, though. This is 6 Grub Baron. The turret might be gone by the time she arrives. Okay, Doxa gonna interrupt the weirding. Zig's gonna be taken down. Fuhai gets a nice pick with the Aurora, but unfortunately, Barcode and Cross are still here. The execute coming from the Rek'Sai. Barcode gonna be doing a lot of damage. Kha'Zix's gonna be going down, and the Bash Brothers are going to be putting in a lot of work. K'Sante gonna be doing what he can, but there's only so much a K'Sante can do. Okay, going to Pathmaker away defensively, but that was a 3 for 4. The teleport coming in from Barcode. Now K'Sante getting a little bit of damage onto Renekton, but we're losing an extra turret for it. Infernal Dragon Soul Point on the table. Kog'Maw getting bursted so fast. Last team fight was really bad. As he is the consistent source of magic damage. Kraz gonna have to retreat. K'Sante going to clear out a ward here in the top river brush, but going to find a Corki. Corki gonna do a lot of damage. Barcode now has the Spirit Visage, so it's even harder for this Kog'Maw to hurt the Renekton. Verdict going to jump on Mikhail, but almost takes him out. Verdict is going to assassinate Makel, but Makel does so much damage. The K'Sante all out, channeled onto Barcode, but Cross is freely hitting this Kog'Maw. We gotta be careful. Fuhai, unfortunately, gonna get annihilated. True damage is pretty annoying. Drew just going to walk up to the Kog'Maw and decimate him. Doxa looking for a play. Okay, we've got the... Oh. Okay, so it looks like Drew and Barcode trying to end the game. Verdict wants to stop them from ending the game, but we've got a million teleports and we've got a Ziggs. We're gonna kill Barlow here, and it looks like that's gonna be the end of game number 1. Maelstrom Esports are gonna go down 0-1. They are now at Please Help are now at match point in this best of 3. We'll see if our boys over at Maelstrom Esports can come back in game number 2. Alright, we've got people setting up in the lobby. Side selection is currently being processed. Let me turn the playlist back on so we can get some beautiful Donkey Kong music. We'll see what the verdict is. When do we figure out site selection? We will have a little bit more info, but right now I believe they're just chatting about the previous game in their respective corners. So let me just update the scoreboard real quick. Alright, we are going to be starting the draft for game number 2 shortly, so please be patient as we get things settled on in. Ay. Sure, we'll get the champ select link real soon. If not, we'll see it when they start the game. Okay, looks like Maelstrom Esports have chosen red side here. Ooh, spectator link, let's go! You know what to do when she come for you. Look at what cam. Alright. So waiting on the players to place themselves. Da, 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 da. Okay. Have to see a little bit more sass from Karsiak if he wants to win these top lane matchups. Because picking Cassante into Renekton, well, I mean, normally pick Renekton into Cassante, not Cassante into Renekton. But I don't know if the comp allowed for something like a Rumble. Maybe he doesn't play it. We'll have to see. But Renekton's just such a good champion. It's hard to do a lot of stuff against Renekton. Renekton is a lane winning champ most of the time. Outside of maybe playing against Vayne or like Quinn, there aren't many champions that really, you know, take a dookie on the Reneki boy. Okay, the players are placed. We might be starting the draft soon. Okay, it looks like we have ready check on both sides. The draft should be starting shortly. Yeah, oh. Is it in you? No, it's this one. Okay. Alrighty. The draft has officially started. Let me move my... there you go. Move myself over here. Here we go. We're going into the draft. Looks like we banned Skarner on blue side. Looks like we're going to be taking Volibear away. We're also going to be banning Udyr. A lot of jungle bans here. Let's see how pinched these jungle pools are going to be. Maybe that's why. Okay, we're going to be taking away the Ashe away from blue side. Typical red side ban that is normally forced. Caitlyn ban as well. Okay, looks like we're trying to limit the turret takers. Ziggs still up for grabs, but I don't know if it's an 80 carry that's going to be contended with. The Yone instead going to be removed away from the blue side pool of please help. I have to see what we get. Ooh, a Singe Hover? Okay, no. Orianna, solid blind pick mid lane. Can struggle a bit into the legs of Syndra and Ahri early on, but definitely a really good scaling mage. What is Maelstrom going to pick up here on the first rotation? Ooh, it looks like we've got a LeBlanc pickup for High on Life. Okay, and we're gonna be looking at Viego LeBlanc, a really strong 2v2 mid-jungle matchup. What are we going to pair to help this Orianna survive? If we blow the Orianna flash early, it might be dangerous for Drew here in the mid lane. We saw High on Live do really well in the 1v1 matchup itself. It looks like Barcode gonna be getting his hands on Jax, a solid top lane pick. And I think here we're going to be looking to maybe get a tanky jungle. There's no way it's Briar, right? Unless Briar is like the secret OP into... Nope. I mean, Kayn is open. We'll have to see if it's Kayn lock-in. Brewster Kayn could be nice. Pairs well with Jax and Orianna for the ball delivery system. Xin Zhao? Okay, Xin Zhao to extend the ball delivery system using the Wind Becomes Lightning. Audacious Charge. Let's see what we pick up here in the top lane for Maelstrom, unless we are going to pick up an 80 carry. But I think we pick up Karsiak's pick here on R3, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like we've got the Gragas. Zayas, is that you? A very, very good matchup here into the Jax. Able to interrupt the leap strike, do a lot of damage. Overall, out-sustain this Jax. And if he ever all-ins you, you just ult him away. If he also jumps ahead of you, you can also just throw him under your turret and kill him. Alright, looks like we are going to be focusing 80 carry bans. We've taken Jhin off the table. Kalista also going to be considered. Ooh, Zeri maybe. I mean, Zeri is amazing in this late game team comp for either side. But we're gonna ban... Yeah, Leona is a solid ban too. Maybe Alistar? I mean, the rel's open. Okay, looks like we are gonna ban the Moo Cow Alistar away to the green pastures of Demacia he goes. No, I'm pretty sure Alistar is from, so I'm not sure where Alistar is from. But we're going to be taking the Varus away here from the side of Maelstrom. Pinching the 80 carry pool ever so thinner. Kalista's going to be banned. And what are we going to pick as a blind AD? I believe you blind AD so you can counter pick support here. A lot of quality 80 carry bans have happened, but the Kai'Sa is still up. I mean, with a LeBlanc, a Gragas, I don't know, maybe it's too much magic damage if you pick the Kai'Sa, but we'll have to see what Mr. Wubbs wants to pick up. Looks like we are gonna go for the Sivir, just the wave clear queen. Alright, what bot lane are we going to throw together here for the side of Please Help? Oh. Well, Draven Hover is always scary. But I think Kai'Sa's smarter. Oh yeah, ain't no way it's Vayne. Ain't no way it's Vayne. Wait, is Draven? Okay. Draven does fare really well into Sivir as his Q does not count as a spell. It's just a sheen. So Sivir cannot block the auto attacks. Yeah, I'm not sure I would pair, yeah. Let's see what we end up pairing. The Renata is fantastic. Amazing here. Disengage. But maybe we're just going to settle with the Rakan. We are leaving the Renata open, so we could take the Renata on the clapback here. But maybe that's what they want. I feel like Sivir Renata doesn't really have the best damage output, but a Poppy would be amazing. Kind of stops a lot of champions here from playing the game. It's not currently locked in, but it's definitely a pick to consider. Looks like Poppy is going to be locked in here for Maelstrom. So we're going to have Poppy Sivir versus Draven Rakan. I do feel that early on, the Rakan definitely going to have a little less impact than the Poppy, but as the team fight starts, if the Rakan is able to get his ult going, I believe he should have the momentum to carry. They like typing. But here we go. So we've got Jax, Xin Zhao, Orianna, Draven, Rakan versus Gragas, Viego, LeBlanc, Sivir, Poppy. Scaling wise, I definitely do have to give the scaling advantage, I want to say, to Maelstrom. If it goes super late, this Sivir is just going to be able to nuke the table. However, we do have to be careful. Jax, Orianna, and Jax and Orianna do scale amazingly well into the late game. But here we go. The champs are like going really fast. I do appreciate a super fast champion select. A lot less time wasted. You know, the bans have already been decided because we already did the draft. So now we're locking in as fast as we can. We already have the rune pages needed for what we have. Or we can make them within like 10 seconds. Here we go. The last of the bands are coming out. And now we're going to be locking in the picks. Make sure we select the proper champions. But I love a fast champion select. It means we get into the game much faster. And when we get into the game much faster, it means that we get a chance to see faster action more frequently. Alright, Barlow running the clock a little bit, just making sure that he's got his rune page in order. This is your 4-minute reminder with spectator delay that we are about to enter the null zone. Once we get out of the null zone, we'll be able to see the awesome action in this game. Hopefully it is as action-packed as we had last game. There was a lot of back and forths until the lead just became a landslide. And then, please help, rode it to victory. We'll have to see if Karsiak has a little bit of a better early laning phase. Fortunately, he was down about 40 CS, down 2,000 gold early on. Not much he could do at that point. But I feel like he played decently well for the matchup that he was thrown into. But this is a Karsiak favored matchup, as Gragas should be able to completely shit on Jax. Give or take, I think they win the 2v2. But here we go. Spectator delay is kicking in. I'm going to go use the washroom real quick. We're going to pause the playlist and I will be right back. So get your drink, get your snack, head to the washroom if you have to, and I shall be right back for some awesome game action. Alright, we are back. Minute 30 on the clock. Make sure to start making your way back to your station if you wish to watch this action-packed jamboree. Here we go, slowly loading into the game. Have the live audio soon. Here we go, loading screen is gone. Now we are getting into the game. Get hyped, get ready. I'm a little tired, but I'll give it my all. Okay. Here we go. We're zoomed out. The large camera. And looks like we have an offensive start here, topside versus a defensive start for the Jax. Jax going to try and sustain through a lot of the early game pain. The Drunken Rage auto attacks can be pretty harmful here. We're going to have an early mid rush out of vision. And the Jacks going to find, Verdict is going to find the entirety of the blue team. Going to get a deep invades, get some wards. Poppy getting a ward at the Raptor Bush here. And Rakan going to do the same. No? No one's dropping a ward? Okay, I'm confused. Normally you invade because you want to set up vision, but now looks like they're setting up another invade. They're gonna be sending 3 people. Okay, they're gonna be sending people to Viego's blue. Okay, so this is not on vision. They do not have information about this. I'm gonna ward over the wall. Barlow is going to find them. So we do know that maybe we've unlocked vertical jungling, and Distortion going to come out, do a bit of damage to Drew in the early game. Barlow does have to be careful. It's going to take a decent amount of damage. Going to have to Righteous Charge away. And that's just going to be first blood here for the Draven. Barlow not respecting what he had seen and got essentially just run down. Fuhai should be able to have access to CS soon. Now he's level 2. He's got Drunken Rage. Distortion. Chain's going to miss from high on life. A little bit unfortunate. LeBlanc going to take a decent amount of poke. Cross going to be thrown off Mr. Wubbs's, the camp here. Mamago here, about to make his play. Flashes over the wall. The Audacious Charge, not going to be enough. Mr. Wubbs does have to be careful here, though. Viego has taken the time to do a lot of farming, though. Cross is really far behind, only level 2. Viego going to hit level 4 soon. The teleport here committed by LeBlanc to be able to catch the wave. Looks like we're sending the bot lane mid for a little bit, just so that we can have access to farming. But I think it's just to like push out the wave, so that way you can sync reset timers. High on life, unfortunately, gonna miss the distortion. The distortion chain to stop the recall from this Draven. But this Draven up about 700 gold in this early game. He is the gold lead. Give or take the 100 gold that Zinzao got on the assist. Fuhai does have to be a little bit careful. His mana is starting to run low, and until he gets his first mana item, he's not going to be able to bully the Jax as much as he wants to. But should have enough sustain to be annoying. Oh, I'm sorry. We can't see the game. Apologies for that. We didn't see any of the action. Anyways, the grand entrance comes in, and High on Life has to be careful. Going to be forced to flash away. Drew gets stunned up. My bad on that, guys. I didn't notice. Hey, I gotta do a better job doing that. Okay, Barcode gonna be doing decent CS-wise, but Fuhai has yet to use... Oh, that's a lot of damage onto the Gragas. Verdict gonna come here, going to miss the Viego stun, and now has to be a little bit careful. Fuhai Fuhai just hit level 5, so should be able to CS up a little bit against this Jax. Has to be careful though. The Grandmaster's Might is soon going to be available, and Electric is going to be procced onto the Orianna. Does a fair bit of damage to Drew. Drew having used the early recall to get a tier and an Amtome versus the Darkseal Amtome that LeBlanc has. The chain comes out with the Mimic, not the Mimic, but the Sigil of Silence, and looks like Barcode gonna want Fuhai with a nice outplay. Doxa ignited. Not gonna go down. Gonna live by the skin of a Steve. But Mr. Wubbs gonna manage to live using both his summoners, though. A little unfortunate. However, they do get Mako. And now the gold lead has collapsed just a little bit. But, fortunately, Poppy got the kill. But there's a nice outplay here by Gragas. We're going to push the wave in. Make sure Sivir can get something to buy. At least some AD. We're probably going to see like a Caulfield's Warhammer or something. Mako going to do his best to farm up what he can. Okay, the clone from LeBlanc going to be procced here by the Orianna. Now we've got our first kerfuffle here at Grubs. Xin Zhao going to find the Grand Entrance, going to find Fuhai, but that was a beautiful cask, able to slow things down. Doxa gonna get stunned up again, and Verdict is going to take his kill of the game. We traded 2-1 in Grubs. Mako putting a lot of pressure here on Mr. Wubbs in game number 2, as he did in game number 1. Barcode has a slight health lead on Fuhai. Barlow here going to look at the command shockwave comes out, and Bobby gets knocked out, forced to flash. Orianna going to flash with the Xin Zhao's charge. Fuhai unfortunately gonna go down this time. Did not have enough damage or HP to get away. Just gets bonked on the head by Jax. Now we're looking to finish this Seraphs as fast as possible on Gragas. And once we do, it will have a Lucidity Boots too. And we'll be able to do a lot of things. Orianna going to be able to start building a small CS lead, but the double chain with the Sigil of Silence going to do a decent amount of damage to Drew. Both mid laners have their lost chapters. It looks like Poppy is going to throw Doxa away, trying to anticipate the righteous charge here. Sorry, the grand entrance from the Rakan. We've got a Caulfield here on the side of Sivir. Rakan going to be found and going to be slain once again. However, Poppy takes another kill. Unfortunately, this money is not going to Mr. Wubbs. But she does have boots too, so that means she is technically in a good position. Gonna pick up the shield. We're looking to shove the wave in to deny whatever we can. Okay, High on Life going to be taking a pretty bad trade. Command Shockwave forcing the flash here on High on Life. Fuhai now gonna be doing a decent amount of damage. However, Jax is getting those grass stacks. Has Orianna going to find herself walking into a LeBlanc, and yeah, that's when you walk into an illusionist, sometimes you don't realize that the real thing was the friends you made along the way. Okay, Fuhai looking to get a combo onto this Jax. Okay, that's a nice ult flash belly bop to make it so that Jax could not respond in time. Let's see how much money we have. Not enough, but maybe we can get a mana item. High on Life going to teleport mid. Not gonna have a lot of money, but has boots 1 now. Orianna picking up some magic resist because this LeBlanc is terrifying. And if you've ever lain against a LeBlanc who just started bullying you and aggressing you throughout the entirety of the laning phase, Crowd's going to find Fuhai. The Grand Entrance not going to knock him up. Belly Bop might be enough, but the Crescent Guard is going to be enough to secure. Viego is here. We've got the Poppy. Okay, Barlow going to try his best. Unfortunately, Poppy is not really known as an assassin, so she does not get to do that much damage. They do trade 1 for 1 after Fuhai died, and it looks like we went plated steel caps on Sivir as well. Gonna be important to maybe try and mitigate a little bit of the damage that we have here. The Grand Entrance not going to be interrupted here. Poppy Q. Oh, the Poppycopter going to throw Orianna away. But right after dying, Verdict misses the stun. And now he's going to pay for it. And now he's dead. And Mr. Wubbs doing what he can. Trying to find Droxa. But the Whirling Death. Oh, we're 1 auto away from killing High on Life. Do we get to find him? No, we don't. But Barcode going to force the Spell Shield onto Sivir. And that is going to be the freedom of the Grubs. We now have Fuhai putting in a lot of work. Looks like we have the boots. We're going to need that Cosmic Drive. Jax trying to get some pressure by jumping on Sivir, but Sivir just walks away. Good flash by Sivir in that last team fight. Unfortunately, Verdict kind of committed himself to dying. When he missed that Viego stun. Okay, the axe is being catched by Mako. If he gets a kill, has the hubris already. So we're up about 1,500 gold. But first turret bounty gonna be going here to this Gragas. Fuhai able to build up a little bit of a lead. Orianna now might be in trouble. Are we gonna see the chain combo? The flash righteous charge. And Verdict going to find that kill. Not going to die, however. But we are now going to potentially lose a top inner turret here. Once again for free. We got a kill on Orianna, but she wasn't worth that much money. And a lot of money now injected into the side of Please Help. Completed items coming through. We have a Kraken Slayer, a Luden's Companion, and a Cosmic Drive. But wait a second. Doxa caught. Fuhai gonna look to find him. Is it gonna be enough? Okay, the cask to enable the root to finish channeling. Okay, the righteous charge onto the minion. I guess we were looking for an angle, but I guess we couldn't find it. This big wave pushing in the top lanes. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get any more plates. The timer's about to time out on the plates themselves, but it looks like we got 1, 3, 8 to 7 plates. It's not too bad. Good amount of plate money earned by both teams. Okay, Verdict going to find the Jax and assassinate him. We now have a potential fight coming over the ocean dragon that just spawned. Viego, the teleport committed by Fuhai. Mako does have to be a little bit careful. He has flash, but gotta be able to use the flash. It looks like we are going to be trading this Ocean Dragon for the Rift Herald. Interesting. It is 5 grubs to 1, so at least on the side of Maelstrom, we managed to take at least 1 grub. And that is going to help because 2 Void Mites plus Rift Herald would have been a disaster. Okay, High on Life taking a lot of turret shots.
Look out!
The Whirling Death gonna come through. Not gonna find a kill. Oriana going to find a kill on Viego. Cross going to kill. Cross is going to kill Barlow. And Oriana going to get a shutdown on the LeBlanc. Fuhai able to get another turret. Building himself a nice little comfy lead. But unfortunately, the rest of his teammates a little bit behind on the plays. Good objective macro, though, for Fuhai to be able to get a little bit of team gold here. Sivir is still farming up. Unfortunately, 2,000 gold behind because of how Draven works. When Draven gets ahead, Draven just strong. Okay, Fuhai here to protect his jungle and support. But Cross is also looking. We've got pressure here in the bot lane. And there is a Herald that was summoned. So another turret's taken here. Okay, the Smite able to kill. The Smite able to kill the Herald before the charge comes off. Draven going to look, but gets shut down. Drew also going to be taken down. Verdict taking over Draven, going to kill Drew. But now we have the next fight is going to be in 3 minutes. But Jax gets an inhibitor turret, jumps to the Hextech portal, and gets away. Then Leaf strikes onto another ward. And yeah, it's just running. Okay, we've got the Winter's Approach here for Gragas. Looks like we've got a little bit more of a tanky Gragas build here from the side of Fuhai. Not looking to contest a Jax in the side lane. Just looking to be able to buy some peel for Mr. Wubbs. Get that 80 carry rolling. LeBlanc is still looking pretty decent right now. But we are slowly getting to the point where an AP Assassin who is not mega fed will be slightly falling off if she ever runs out of targets to find and assassinate. So right now, the only viable target for assassination would be Mikael or Zinzao, as neither of them built HP. But the Oriana does have Merc Treads plus Seraphs, but sometimes that's not going to be enough. High on Life going to be applying pressure in the top lane by pushing the turret in. Poppy going to be joining them, but Jax is pushing at the inner turret, so the Poppy has to reset to be able to help the possible dive coming bot lane. Verdict and Fuhai looking to make a play here. Mr. Wubbs just going to clear the wave against the Oriana. The Bobbycopter going to come out, not going to find anyone. Fuhai throws a cask, but there's no follow-up to come from the cask, so nothing else happens. Deadman's Blade finished on Poppy. Interesting, more movement speed. Viego now on 2 items with the Sundered and Kraken Slayer. 2 more abilities before. Okay, we now have the Fimbulwinter here on Gragas, so he will have a little bit of an obnoxious shield, but that is going to be a free turret taken here for the side of Please Help. We've got the dragon spawning in 45 seconds. We're looking to probably get some resets in. Oriana can probably buy her her arm guard. Yeah, buys Arm Guard, buys a Control Ward. We finished the Sundered Sky here for Zinzao. We finished a Collector here for Draven. And Jax finished his Sundered Sky as well. So, 3 Sundered Skies this game. It's going to be a lot of crit hitting and a lot of decent healing. Wonder who's going to be the first team who's going to commit the anti-heal. Okay, Zinzao here fighting for a ward. Fuhai does a little bit of damage to Cross, but that Eclipse Shield is going to keep him topped up. The helicopter not going to be channeled. Fuhai going to ult to try and get some disengage. However, ignited, he might be dead. No, he's going to live on a slim amount of HP. But red team running out of gas, and this Jax is not running out of money. High on life now being run down by Doxa. Doxa has to be a little bit careful. He can get assassinated. Okay, looks like that is going to be the first Ocean Dragon over to the side of Please Help. Now Baron is up, but there's some money to be spent. Fuhai going to find Doxa, but going to take a lot of damage from Mako. High on life here. We're going to assassinate the Rakan. Because the Rakan is the source of peel that the Draven wants. And without the Rakan, the Draven is a lot weaker. Or Drew going to get caught. Will the shot flashes? Okay. Manages to flash over the wall and get away successfully. Barlow going to get the Poppy, the Draven out of the fight. The Audacious Charge plus Crescent Guard not going to be enough. Unfortunately, when you're in melee range of Xin Zhao, you're able to assassinate him. And it looks like we get Baron priority here for the side of Maelstrom Esports. Oh, maybe we want to set up a play. The Jack's going to Leap Strike onto the Rakan to get away. But that is going to be Baron started here for the side of Maelstrom Esports. Darks are going to put a ward in the pit. We are now denying vision with the pink ward, but High on life has to be careful not to overextend. The Whirling Death going to do quite a bit of damage here. High on life going to try to assassinate, but Barlow's going to get the kill. Doxa here not going to have enough gas in the tank. We really need some resets. Jax here going to put in a lot of work. The Orianna still doesn't have the command shockwave, but this Jax is just popping off. And Maelstrom, unfortunately, not going to have enough gas in the tank to kill this Jax. And now that this Jax is rich, he's going to have a Seeker's Arm Guard for the next team fight. Fortunately, Fuhai has a Seeker's, did not find an opportunity to use it, but Jax does a lot of damage to monsters. But it looks like, unfortunately, it's going to be a free Baron here to the side of Please Help. Now let's see, we've got 2,000 gold on Jax, 1,600 on Orianna, and about 1,000 here on Draven. We're going to pick up a Seekers and a Tunneler. Interesting. Now Orianna picking up a Needlessly, probably going towards either a Shadow Flame or a Rabadon's Death Cap. We'll have to see. Doxa trying to protect his ward, but gets thrown into the wall. The Grand Entrance gets stopped, and Barlow gets yet another kill. If some of these kills were on LeBlanc, then, I mean, it's nice to have a tanky Poppy, but the biggest problem is you kind of want your money on your AP Assassin, who's at item parity while being 6, 2, and 12. Yeah, it feels bad that your fed AP Assassin is on item parity with the Orianna, who's 5, 5, 6. Verdict gonna be taking away the red buff here. But Fuhai gonna get jumped, gonna belly bop. We don't really have much damage here. Going to cask into the turret. The Poppycopter going to miss, unfortunately. The inhib gonna get taken down. But Verdict is going to kill Cross. And the Jax, unfortunately, though having an hourglass, not going to be able to do enough to use it. Dragon is up in 47 seconds, and this could be sole point here for the side of Maelstrom Esports. Maybe this is the start of a way back in. LeBlanc almost has a Rabadon's Death Cap. Gragas almost has his Zonias. And Sivir is working towards the Infinity Edge. So we'll have to see. But Sivir is putting in a decent amount of work. However, this Viego and LeBlanc combination with the Poppy are doing so much. Looks like we are going a Zeke's Convergence here next. On the side of Poppy. We now have the LDR finished for Draven, which is pretty big. High on life, gonna look for a play. Force the Shockwave out. Going to stop the Leap Strike with the Poppy W. And Cross gonna take a little bit of damage from Puhai, but not enough that it matters. We now have a fight over the 4th dragon of the game. Could be Soul Point. The Body Bop going to miss. Is Verdict going to Smite Steal this? No. Draven's going to take it. Barlow going to take a lot of damage. Unfortunately, Barcode here going to get assassinated. And the red team is starting to run out of gas. Let's see. Fuhai going to get assassinated by Megal. The Zonius proc by Drew probably saved his life. And Draven is just going off, and he's landing axes after axes after axes. And this man is just saying, "Here's Johnny," as he hacks through the defenses of Maelstrom Esports. There isn't much that Maelstrom can do. This Draven is just so strong, and the second he gets a kill, he essentially gets like 30 plus more AD. Now there's about 3,000 gold here, but I think we're just gonna try and end the game. And yeah, that's the Poppycopter. The Poppycopter could be huge, but the Draven and the Sinzal are still alive, and they're hitting the Nexus. One more hit, and that's gonna end it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the shortest VOD we've had on the channel yet for a Mamago playoff game, but that was Please Help taking a 2-0 convincing victory over the side of Maelstrom Esports. We'll be back with our next cast whenever we find one. So stay tuned in the Mamago Discord and DH Discord if interested. The VOD for you guys will be available at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. I will be uploading both the Super Week VOD and the Mamago VOD at the same time, because as always, when I do a cast the following morning, I don't like delaying information. So the VOD will be available as soon as possible for you guys. Yeah, we streamed for about 10.5 hours, Mr. Magic. Yeah, 10.5 hours today. So, well, we're practicing for that 24-hour stream where I'm gonna have to sleep in my chair, that I promised Peach I'd do. But hey, you know, like, it is what it is at the end of the day, and we're gonna get there when we get there. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. Make sure to stay subscribed to the Fallen Sanctum YouTube channel for all updates regarding any VODs that you would find in the Mamago. Give me a second, let me just post a link real quick for anyone interested. Drop me a follow if you enjoyed the cast tonight, and head on over to the Fallen Sanctum on youtube.com and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with any casts that I do. I always post on Twitter the day I go live, and if not, you can always check the Mamago Discord or the DH Discord when I have a stream planned. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining, and have a great evening.